My name is John Biondi, and my wife, Deirdre Birmingham, and I are the proprietors of the cider farm.
I'm Deirdre, and I run our farm. I'm in charge of our organic apple production. For example, I decide on all the blends that go into our ciders and our apple brandy, and John is running our tasting room in Madison.
My wife had worked in agriculture internationally and really had never quite thought about having a farm. So we came up with this idea that sometime in our time together, we needed to have a farm.
In 2002, we had the opportunity to farm shop. So I was in charge of looking for farmland, and we found this beautiful piece of the Driftless in southwest Wisconsin, and we didn't know what the business was going to be. We just knew we would do things organically.
Nobody had lived on that land for over 50 years, and consequently there were wild apple trees everywhere. So we thought, well, apples do well here, let's try apples. We came up with the idea of doing European cider apples.
We learned that the English and French in particular develop varieties for fermentation. So we thought, great, we'll buy those trees and get this little orchard started. And we quickly learned the trees weren't sold commercially in the US in 2003. So we took a class on grafting so we could learn to make these trees from somebody who had some of these very trees in his own small orchard in Wisconsin.
Following that, it took multiple years in order for us to hand graft out the number of trees that we needed to really have a commercial orchard.
I soon came to realize I was a data point of one in the US. I didn't know anybody else growing these English and French varieties organically in Midwest conditions. It was hard to find other organic growers. So I was very much on my own to try to figure this out. So we go to the trouble of growing these apples to make a difference in the quality of our cider. Cider's fermented like a wine, and you don't make a fine wine out of any old grape. We're using the best quality apples you can use, and we've selected varieties that have tannins. So that's what really sets our ciders apart, because a lot of people don't realize that there's many ciders in the US that are just made, most are just made from table apples.
We wanted to make very wine-like ciders, very nuanced and maybe sophisticated ciders that were substitutes for wine, not substitutes for soda pop or sweet drinks. So that was going very much against what the American cider market was, and it took us a while to really, one, get distributors that were willing to distribute that type of product, and two, to kind of find a market. So in 2019, we decided to get into the retail business. And so we opened this cidery that I'm sitting in right now and speaking to you. We managed to, through being just scrappy, survive COVID and all the things that have come after it. And we're still here.
I think we feel rewarded that we did choose to grow these apples. It was definitely taking the high road or the harder road, a very challenging road, but we feel very rewarded when people experience the ciders and let us know how much they enjoy them. We've entered our first competitions, one of it being an international competition with 48 states, 20 countries, 1,200 ciders being entered, and our all-English cider won Best of Show second place for traditional dry ciders, and that is our sweet spot. We're looking to make traditionally dry, well-crafted ciders.
The orchard we have is really one of a kind in America. Deirdre has developed the largest organically cultivated orchard of French and English cider apples in America. Our ciders are available in most retail liquor and grocery stores in Madison. We're on tap at many restaurants and taverns throughout Madison. We're distributed throughout the state of Wisconsin. We're also distributed in Illinois, primarily in Chicago.